All right, that's about the Asian check. But with this, let's also tell you which are some of the stocks that we will be watching out for in today's trading session. Some earning candidates as well as some of the other newsmakers. And firstly, let's start with Nykaa. The company did come out with a good set indeed. There has been a beat in terms of the operational performance as well as the top line, but the profit line versus the ET Now's estimate, there has been a slight miss. All across the board, the company did report a good and a stellar set in terms of the management commentary, or rather the Concor key takeaways. They say that the 40% of the portfolio impacted by a rate cut to 5%, 70% of the orders were delivered same or the next day across 110 cities, while there's been no dilution expected in the fashion AOV going forward. And along with that, most of the brokerages have actually gone ahead and raised their target price on Nykaa. Case in point being Nuvama, Morgan Stanley, CLSA, they have gone ahead and raised and hiked the target price, and so is the case with Jefferies. From 250 rupees earlier, 285 is what they are targeting while maintaining their buy call. Other than that, JSW Cement will be in focus as well, as the company did come out with its earnings. So looks like a good set where the revenue has seen a jump of 17% on a YOY basis. Net profit at 86.4 crores versus a loss that the company reported on the same quarter last year, and even in the previous quarter there has been a loss, and the operational performance has also seen an improvement with EBITDA jumping almost 114 odd %. Concor will be in focus as well on the back of an order win, as the company backs a deal worth 158 crores. And Ashoka Buildcon will be in focus as well, as the company has submitted bid for a project for the Northwestern Railway, Jaipur, and the accepted project cost is 540 worth odd crores. And lastly, Anant Raj did come out with its earnings. Look like a good set where the revenue has seen a jump of 23% on a YY basis. Is the data center business revenue target of 1200 crores that has been set by the company to be achieved by FY27. So these are the counters that we will be watching out for.
All right, Srishti, then lots of stocks to watch out for. But how did the markets perform last week? How has the week gone by been? Which were the sectors that led the pack? And why did we face some kind of pressure over there? Ashesha is here to take us through all of that. Ashesha, over to you. Good morning.
Well, yes, good morning. And Nifty declined for the second consecutive week last week. Remember, we saw a decline of nearly 0.8% last week. So yes, it was a muted week on Dalal Street. Remember, Hindalco and Grasim Industries were the biggest losers on the Nifty 50 index. Hindalco, after Novelis, reported very weak set of numbers, and that weighed heavy on Hindalco's stock last week. Nifty, as I mentioned, was down 0.8%. In terms of broader market action, Nifty small cap snapped 2-week gaining streak, so broader markets were also under pressure last week. Nifty PSU banking index was the biggest sectoral gainer. That one was up 2%. It advanced for the third consecutive week. Bank of India and Bank of Baroda were the top gainers on the PSU banking index. On the losing side though, oil and gas stocks, energy stocks were under pressure, so Nifty energy index ended with a downtick of nearly 1.7% last week. In terms of individual sectors, we had Nifty FMCG index, that one was down 1.3%. Nifty metal and IT index also ended the week with a downtick of nearly 1.6 to 1.7%. On the gaining side, apart from Nifty PSU banking index, which I just spoke about, we had Nifty banking index, that one was up 0.2%. And Nifty mid-cap index in terms of broader markets also ended the day with an uptick of 0.1%. So all in all, it was a lackluster week, and Nifty ended with a downtick of 0.8%. And we also had broader markets which were under pressure last week.
All right, thank you so much, Ashesha, for getting us all those details. So that's about the week gone by. But Ashesha, along with that, for today, tell us which are the stocks that are going to be in focus. Most of the candidates will be in focus on the earnings, I believe.
Yes, a whole host of counters in focus on the back of earnings. And first up, let's talk about Bajaj Auto from the Nifty 50 pack. And that one reported largely in-line set of numbers, where margins expanded by about 70 basis points on a sequential basis, and management commentary also continues to remain positive. So the management of Bajaj Auto in their con call said that Bajaj Auto aims to outpace the 125cc plus category going forward. Exports will continue to grow at the rate of 15 to 20% going forward, and from several markets, export demand continues to remain very positive. So Bajaj Bajaj Auto in-line set of numbers. Management commentary was also on the positive side. Trent, meanwhile, also reported better than expected set of numbers, where revenue up 17% YOY, margins at 17.2% versus 15.9% that the company had reported same time last year. But we have a few brokerages which continue to remain bearish. In fact, we have Nuvama. They say growth momentum moderated in the quarter gone by. So perhaps some cautiousness coming in over here, but numbers were largely better than what the street was working with. Hexaware, meanwhile, a company from the IT sector, and they've announced an acquisition where the company said that they've acquired CyberSolve. This is a $66 million acquisition. This is to strengthen their cybersecurity play. So this is an acquisition that has come in the IT sector. Hexaware in focus on the back of this. Swiggy, meanwhile, the board of directors have approved 10,000 crore fundraising. This will be done via QIP, and a whole host of insurance counters will also be in focus on the back of insurance data that we got for the month of October, and most listed players have reported very strong set of data. So we have ICICI General Insurance, which reported a growth of about 16% YOY, Go Digit at about 21%, Star Health at 22.5%, and Niva Bupa at about 67%. So very strong operational data for the month of October from all of these insurance stocks, and the entire pack will be in focus on the back of this.
All right, then, lots of stocks to focus on. Thank you, Ashesha, for that. But moving on, in this week's The Interview with Aisha Faridi, we have 361 Assets, Anup Maheshwari. Financials, telecom and consumptions are all the three themes that he is positive on. Let's listen into his rationale.
Financials, it's a domestic sector, it's the largest, it's a